Hi, my name is Father John Welch, and I've been a priest for the Missionaries of Our Lady of La Salette for 28 years. I'm presently living at a shrine in La Salette Shrine in Attleboro, Massachusetts. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from Salem, Massachusetts. I previously in ministry was the vocation director and soon to be transferred down to our parish, Our Lady of La Salette in Sulphur, Louisiana. Why did I become a La Salette priest? I'm from Salem, Massachusetts, which is north of Boston. And I didn't know much about La Salette even growing up in Salem. The shrine was in Ipswich, Mass, that I would be more familiar with. But my parents, and we didn't go down that way too often, it was in the north of Salem. But I heard about the shrine, and as I got older, I was teaching confirmation in my home parish, Immaculate Conception. And one of the mothers of the kids said, "Oh, I go to La Salette Shrine. Did you ever hear of it?" And I said, "Well, I heard of it." She said, "Well, would you like to come down? They have a prison ministry group." And I said, "Well, not really. I'm kind of busy." And she said, she kept inviting me. And at the end of the year, when the daughter was going to be confirmed, she invited me again and told me that the prison ministry group was coming to her confirmation, to the Immaculate Conception, and you would meet them that day. And I said, "Okay, I'm looking forward to it." Well, that day came, that night, and the prison ministry group came, and a priest came with them. His name was Father John B. Good. He was an Irish priest, La Salette, and he, most of the time for his ministry, was in Burma. And he was captured in Burma. There was a military coup going on at the time, I believe, and he was in a cage for a couple of years, I believe. But he had no bitterness about him. He had more joy, more peace, more love, and he was the type of priest no one was a stranger. People were always inviting him out for dinner. He loved to play golf. He loved to ride his bike, and he was in his late 70s. And that just attracted me, and I learned more about La Salette, the charism of reconciliation. And through him having no bitterness or anger, that just struck my life. And I thought about maybe one day being a priest, more diocesan, because growing up we had diocesan priests in my parish, had them over for dinner or for lunch, and I liked them, but I didn't feel drawn. But when I read more about the story of reconciliation and his witness of no anger, no hatred, but only love, and I read more of the story of La Salette when Mary said, "Come near, my children, don't be afraid. I have great news to tell you." And that was the great news of forgiveness and love, and telling the children to go back down the mountain to make the message known. And that's what I did. I got more involved at our shrine in Ipswich, Mass. I got to know more of the priests and brothers that lived there. And at that time, they had a few seminarians. And I got to know them. And it just touched my life. And I decided, well, I'm going to try. I'm going to make an appointment with a vocation director. And I'll do my best to be that witness of reconciliation. And that was over 28 years ago, and it was the best decision of my life. You meet so many different people, all walks of life, and reconciliation certainly is saying, "I'm sorry" to one another through the sacrament of reconciliation. But reconciliation is everyday life. It's so easy in a way. When we go to the store, looking at a person, say good morning, good afternoon, have a nice day. Because in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, you never know, maybe a person is smiling at you, but maybe no one has smiled at them, or even in their home life is terrible and no one is speaking to them. So we have an opportunity every single day of our life to be missionaries of Our Lady of La Salette, by our words, by our actions, but definitely by our love. And as Jesus is very clear, we will know one another, how we love one another. And Mary made the message known. Don't be afraid, my children. Go back down the mountain, witness that great news of the love of Christ for each and every one of us. Why do I love La Salette? I think the opportunity, and I have many opportunities to meet so many people in parishes, here at the shrine, really from all over the world, in parishes, definitely here at the shrine. All different ethnic groups will come here, and it's just fascinating to hear people's stories. I love to talk to people, not necessarily all about religion, but just hear their stories, where they're from, what they do, how is life treating them, and just how people communicate. Just listening to their stories, it helps me as a person, it helps me as a priest, but also helps me how to treat one another, to treat others in my life. And through their stories, that's the message of La Salette. Making that message known, coming down from the mountain of my own personal life and going out and hearing the stories of one another. And just most of the time, just listening, not trying to change things or try to solve problems, just listening to the person. But through that listening, bringing that presence of Jesus's love and kindness and joy. But at the same time, inviting them maybe deeper, certainly, into the story of the missionaries of La Salette. Maybe as a priest, maybe as a brother, maybe we have religious sisters, every religious sister, but more so maybe ministry of the church here at the shrine, recognizing maybe people's gifts and talents that they don't think they have anything. Many times you talk to people and they say, well, you have this gift, you have that talent. And they say to me many times, oh, Father, I don't have any gifts, I don't have any talents, but they really do. It's just that, helping another, bringing that gift and talent from outside of them, to help them recognize that in themselves and to share that here at the shrine, share that wherever they go, in their own home, family life, and workplace, wherever the Lord sends them, wherever, as Mary's message, go out, go down the mountain. So we go down the mountains of our own everyday life to witness the message of La Salette. And that brings me great joy. That message of healing, being a reconciler, so we don't have to be a priest, don't have to be a brother or a sister. We can do it every day of our life. The tragedies we see on TV and on the news today throughout the world, we can pray for one another in an instant. In an instant today. It's right there in front of us. We can stop asking the Lord to bless these individuals. Say an Our Father, Hail Mary. That's what Mary said to the children of La Salette. Do you know your prayers? They didn't know their Our Father. They didn't know their Hail Mary. And they were taught. So you and I know more, even the visionaries of La Salette, the children. So that's the message. Ordinary, everyday life, in a simple way, being messages of reconciliation. And sometimes maybe the Lord will call us into the bigger areas of life, but most of the time it will just be everyday life for one another. And that is the beautiful message. We all can do something. We all have a gift. We all have a talent. And don't let anyone tell you you don't, because you do. We have the message of love and forgiveness to ourselves and to one another. And that's the message of La Salette. And that brings me great joy and happiness. And I'm glad I'm a La Salette missionary. It'll be 30 years, and next summer I'll be ordained. And I'm glad God called me into this wonderful community, sharing my gifts and sharing my talents to do my best to be that witness of reconciliation to everyone that I encounter.
I'm Brother Anthony Casso. I'm stationed here at the National Shrine of Our Lady of La Salette in Attleboro, and I became interested in religious life around 18. I lived in Cheshire, Connecticut, where the minor seminary was located. I visited there, and I spoke with Brother Jerome. He invited me to enter the novitiate and give it a try. I feel Our Lady actually made the call. I was intrigued by the apparition and the message of La Salette. I love the La Salette charism of reconciliation. It is very relevant today more than ever. Our Lady emphasized penance, prayer, and reconciliation. We see this daily here with confessions and retreats as well. Our charism is reconciliation, just as divine mercy is merciful. I enjoy helping at the Welcome Center and at the reception desk. I come in contact with the laity, and it provides me an opportunity to speak about La Salette. I'm also involved with the soup kitchen and the intercessory prayer group. I love to play the organ daily at our daily liturgies, and this helps the celebrant and the congregation as well. And on Mondays, I volunteer at our soup kitchen where the meals are served and also play the accordion for them. And during the Christmas season, the Festival of Lights, I also entertain with my music the many visitors who come to see the lights.
My name is Brother Donald Wininski. I'm a missionary of Our Lady of La Salette. As long as I can remember, I have had a fondness for Our Lady. As I grew, my fondness developed into a deep love for her. Each apparition has its own charism. La Salette reaches out to all, making room to experience God, no matter how marginal we may be. What has sustained me these past 52 years is my faithfulness to prayer, Mass, and Eucharist. Without it, I probably would have lost my way. How do I spread the message of La Salette? Through my ministry of hospitality at the Retreat Center. I am a presence. Also, my artistic talent moves people to see beauty and moves people to see and experience the good that is out there. I am not here for myself, but for the people of God. Christ shows his face through us and through others. I love La Salette, for it reaches out to the marginal and gives hope and sustenance to those who struggle in their faith. It shows people that there is light at the end of their dark tunnel. La Salette is relevant today and is so needed because of our society. Man's inhumanity to man, the violence and mayhem has reached a crescendo today. Humanity has to be reminded that God exists. In 1846, Our Lady reminded us of this fact. For this reason, if I would have to choose one word illustrating what La Salette is all about, that word would be hope.
Hi, my name is Marianne Daly. I live in Plainville, Massachusetts. I grew up in Norton, Massachusetts with my parents, Anne and Joe, and older brother Tim, where faith was a central part of our lives. I graduated from Bishop Feehan High School and stayed close to home for college, and 4 years later, graduated from Wheaton College. Upon my graduation, with a degree in mathematics and computer science, I began my career at Meditech as a programmer to assist in the complete creation of an electronic health record. And after 32 years and many different positions, I'm a supervisor in our development division. My parents introduced me to La Salette as a toddler. Though I do not remember quite that far back, I do remember being a young child and sitting on the floor at concerts by Father Pat, sunrise services at Easter, visiting the Christmas Festival of Lights in snowstorms that kept the crowds away, and finally, being an adult and old enough to volunteer. I was blessed to be involved with Father Joe and Father Delisle and the youth group as a youth minister for many years with the high school age group. Along with several other young adults, I was also a coordinator for the La Salette Family Festival for the last few years before the fire took the provincial house on the hill. I have known the message of Our Lady of La Salette all my life. At first, it was just a story, but as I grew to adult life and my own faith, it began to touch my own heart. In my over 50 years, La Salette has never not been in my life. The La Salette community of priests, brothers, and sisters have become family. There is always a connection to Mary's message in my heart and it was easy to make a commitment to the associates to share that message in my daily life and share in the spirituality of La Salette and the lives of the La Salette community. We are all one community, no matter where we go in the world. When we enter a La Salette house, we are all welcome. Hospitality. Mary said, "Come near my children." Mary has always been a central part of my faith from as long as I can remember, and my Portuguese great-grandmother, grandmother, and my Irish grandmother, I can never remember any of them without a rosary. The message stays the same from 1846, but it continues to be relevant today, and times change and life changes, but La Salette's message and charism is always constant and always welcoming. Mary is always calling to us.
Hello, my name is Peter Texera, and I live right here in Attleboro, near the La Salette Shrine. I'm married to Maria, and we have 2 daughters, Sarah and Amanda. I'm a machinist by trade and have been blessed to work in this industry that's helped me to provide for my family for over 30 years. I first attended Mass at the Shrine in 1998 and started volunteering the following year at Steubenville's Retreat in 1999. After being a volunteer for several years, I was invited to discern the possibility of entering the formation to become a La Salette associate. I felt called to be more closely connected to the La Salette community in the mission of reconciliation. After all these years, I can see how this connection has helped me to grow spiritually and also in maturity. The reason that I love La Salette is how our Blessed Mother always walks with us, as she did with the children on the day of her apparition, up the hill as she shared her message of reconciliation with them and now with us. At the shrine, at home, work, or anywhere else we go, the world needs this priceless treasure to be shared with everyone. Because life is difficult and so many people suffer, she's always reminding us how important it is to bring this message to all her people. Join us on this mission to bring the message of our Blessed Mother, to be reconciled with our Lord and one another. Have a blessed day.
Hello, my name is Carol Bedard. By way of introduction, for numerous years, my family and I have been active participants at La Salette Shrine here in Attleboro, where it was always so positive and uplifting. I'm a mother of 2 grown daughters who live a total of 5,500 miles away consecutively. I'm also blessed to have 2 little grandchildren ages 4 and our baby who is 10 months old. When we do have family reunions, it is such a blessed time for sure. Professionally, I graduated from Providence College and have worked in the field of education in a variety of capacities and with all age groups. Also, I have worked in many human service capacities. It was always important to me to have a career where I could give back to others in life-changing ways. It has been and continues to be very fulfilling to be a volunteer at the shrine in many different ways, including during Christmas and Easter seasons. Knowing that I can help serve our Lord and Blessed Mary is an honor to me. I am so grateful that the beautiful La Salette Shrine is local to me. It has always been a source of deep peace, a haven of solace, tranquil calm, especially when life events become heavy, deeply painful, and overwhelming. The shrine and the grounds are so lovely and resonates with the presence of Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and our Blessed Mother. I first came to La Salette when I was about 15. It was at Christmas time, and we attended Father Pat's amazing concert. Here, the true meaning of Christmas continues to be celebrated every day. La Salette has been my very special place of spiritual healing, connection, reflection, hope, and strength ever since, and is certainly a precious blessing to me. During the past few years, I have been a lay associate after I received an invitation to discern about this special voluntary role, after completing an enlightening 2-year formation program as a lay associate. It has provided me with opportunities to experience a closer affiliation with the La Salette community of such caring and dedicated priests, brothers, and sisters, as well as feeling confident with more leadership roles within the shrine. I'm privileged to be a part of this video, and I encourage anyone who is seeking an accepting, non-judgmental, compassionate, Christian, spiritual experience to consider being active at the shrine in any way that is comfortable for you, as it will be very enriching. One main aspect of Blessed Mary's messages during her apparition to Melanie and Maxim, the children she appeared to at La Salette, France, was to make this message known so more people can experience and come to better know and be in relationship with Jesus, her Son. The other significant request was for us to have reconciliation with Him and with others within our families and communities. Through masses, healing services, retreats, and so many interesting and ongoing creative and unique events, the shrine is able to assist one on their individual spiritual walk. I'm very thankful for all these opportunities and gifts.